Hey guys, yeah, as I said, live, off screen as well. Yeah, we're just continuing the cosplay. Basically, what I've been doing is, I did a tiny bit last night as well. That's not true, I got a friend to do a tiny bit last night. They made this, stayed over for a sleepover, but
The opera was wonderful.
yeah, they made this, which is like the, essentially, if I grab, but I'll show you, there's a little hole goes through here. Also, can I just say, I was scrolling through TikTok today, and I've just had so much clarity on cosplays. I've got Clone Wars in the background actually as well. Should quiet that down maybe. In the lounge. Basically, Hello!
Whoever is behind this is no fool. We need to find
Hello, no fools. Welcome back.
There's still
Yes,
lots of critical piece of information.
it is. I don't know. Is it? It must be at least like 10 minutes past midnight here in Britain, but whatever. I had a massive revelation about cosplay. I found someone basically while scrolling through socials who has done stuff with cosplay in a way that everything is fully movable, and it has completely changed my perspective on this. Essentially, it uses the same mechanics as the wings, but for a full body. And essentially how it's going to work is...
You might be right. Perhaps we should eat something.
Oh, we have school in the morning.
So close.
Well, I shouldn't keep you up, obviously. I mean, if you've got school, then... I would... I mean, it depends how well you are.
You've never told me.
How good you like perform. Obviously, like not having much. I don't really know. Keeping yourself up. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Obviously, feel free to fall asleep anytime. But yeah, what I was saying is that I came across someone earlier today who does cosplay in a very specific way, that they essentially make full mechanical bits, a bit like an Iron Man suit. They've made full mechanical bits that actually move with the pivots in your body, and it's essentially a bit like this, where we've got circles, except they make the whole thing turn, which is crazy, right? And I fiddled with the concept before, but it's essentially just using really sort of thin bits and having bolts in, so when you move your hand, it essentially has bolts here that move up and down with your hand. And obviously by doing that, you can create torsion and make much bigger fingers, like we were trying to do the other day. But it's such a simple design, and it's just given me so much clarity in terms of design for this and so much other stuff, that I've gone to the point of essentially just redesigning my whole cosplay. And I explained this in Warframe earlier. The cosplay that we're building now is essentially a persona for D&D. It's a character designed a while ago. Obviously I've done like a concept of it, but every sort of cosplay I make is going to be some sort of persona in either a universe or a game or some sort of original thing that I created. So another one I'm going to do at some point is actually make a Tenno, which is a Warframe skin, out of like cosplay bits, out of this, and all of it is going to be cardboard. The main key thing with every cosplay I'm going to make is going to be fully cardboard. It's going to be a challenge, but it's also going to be hella fun. And obviously the more we do it, the more we pick up skills and things we need to come out of. So something I picked up already is, because this is going to be such like a big thing, this needs to be double thick, which is why even now it's like quite flimsy because of the weight of it, because it's so big. But when it's actually on there, it's going to be this way round, so it's not going to like flap around so much. And this is going to be one of the more sturdy bits, because essentially, if I just show you real quick, I've actually put holes through it. Like that. You can see that where this skewer goes through, we're going to cut this off actually and make like a artificial cardboard screw essentially. But if we put that all the way through to the point where this stopper works, you can see that this actually does now move freely, which is perfect because this is how we're going to activate the wings. Because essentially as this thing, so imagine like the wing is in like that, and basically as we hold this, I need to hold this, as we pull, so I'll keep this in place. As we pull this down, the other one goes up. I'll do it this way as well. So if you pull this towards us, that goes up, and that's essentially how the wings are going to spread out. Because this goes up, and the things attached onto the end of here are going to fray outwards because of the under bit that's going to go through there. And then this bit in the middle is going to act as that bit that pushes everything else out and up. If that makes sense. It's very mechanical, essentially. And oh, 100% I'm painting it. Yeah, I've got primer upstairs, I've got Poscas. It's going to be the same colours as the mask. I probably should have explained this before. Essentially, how it's going to work is black, gold, pink and purple. So I think all of it is mainly going to be black. It's going to have gold kind of incentive, insignias and kind of engravings on it. And like, I know how to write in runes, and I know how to write in the Minecraft runes and stuff like that, so that's going to come in really interesting. But yeah, I have like gold outlines around the edge. I'm going to put paper on these bits, just so that it's not so rough around here. And then we'll paint gold on top of the paper with primer and stuff as well, and Posca. And then I've got some purple and some pink Poscas as well for the thinner ones. All we're going to do is add like cross hatches and scratches onto the wings, and maybe just like a couple dashes and stuff, tiny bit of shading. But yeah, they're going to be fully fledged, and they're going to match the colours of the rest of the stuff. And the mask that I had before, the horn sort of black mask that I made, when I said I want to revamp that, now because I have this kind of new ideas and these new schematics for all this sort of moving part stuff that's going to move with our body, this morph suit that I've ordered, I don't actually need to sew plates into it anymore. Because we now have this new kind of found, I guess, research, what we can do is essentially just make a net for our whole body that we'll be able to put on really easy. It will be essentially like wearing, I don't know, like a big, like a big net. Imagine a fish net, but every sort of link is able to not stretch, but is in like a bolt connector, so they all move like that essentially. I mean, get to sleep at some point. Don't take after me and stay up all night watching Clone Wars and then pass out during half the day the next day, and then sleep in the next day until 12 o'clock. That's what I did today, and this is why stream was so late earlier. Yeah, don't do that. Especially if you've got school and stuff. But yeah, so basically all we're going to be doing is duplicating this and this, and I've already got started on it, well, I got a friend to start on it there. So this is basically a dupe of the smaller one, and yeah. Really going to be sleepy in class. Fair enough. It gets worse at uni as well. Uni isn't far away for me, but it is far, I guess. It's up in London, but it's about an hour and an hour's journey to actually get there. But the time I have to get up is usually like 5 in the morning. Just to actually get there, and class starts at kind of the time that school starts, which is sort of 8:20 in the morning, but it takes me an hour to get to London, but then to actually get to uni from the bit I get to London to, adds up to the time it takes to get to, and then sometimes the trains are delayed in bits and it's a bit annoying, but yeah, cool. I always get there at least a couple of minutes early as well, because my dad works in London, so I end up going up with him a lot, just on the train. He has work on the days that I'm at uni, which is handy. But yeah. Also, I should just say, that's the other thing. So there's bound to be people at uni who do cosplay and stuff as well. and so I probably might bring the wings at some point into uni, and yeah, and there's a possibility, because obviously Halloween's somewhat round the corner with October, that I might bring the wings or a bit of the cosplay into uni with me during October time, because it's around. So Comic Con is essentially on the Comic Con's on the 24th and the 26th, 24th to the 26th. I'm basically just going to keep it up every 3 days, because again, I'm not that far from London, and it is where Comic Con isn't far from like where I usually go for uni anyway. So yeah, it's not that far of a travel. I'm just going to drive up every day or catch the train up every day. But then I've got uni basically the week after that before we break up for like a not a half term, but other bits, I guess. So, yeah, there's a possibility I might take the wings into uni and just have fun with that as well. Did I cut the rest of this up? I'm just going to turn this up real quick. I've got up to the bit on the Clone Wars where Ahsoka's been kicked out of the Jedi. Fives has uncovered the fact there's a plot going on within the Senate and the Emperor's involved, and now Padme is finding out that the banks are being drained of money. To use for this new galactic empire, which is secretly being built within the Jedi Order. I think a lot of people pass it up, but the Star Wars universe, it's a very political thing, the Star Wars universe. There's a lot of kind of, well, politics within it that define a lot of the lore as well. Because essentially the Emperor is just a political figure. I mean, he might be a Sith, but he's just this massively influencing political figure as well. He doesn't really do much, he basically just fucking sits around and tells people what to do.
It's not the same as my private confidence in him. What exactly is going on here? We will watch him closely.
Also, I'm pretty sure they changed the voice actor for Sheev Palpatine like halfway through the series. I can definitely tell the difference. I don't know if something happened or what. Also, I haven't seen 3PO in fucking ages. R2-D2's in literally... R2-D2? R2-D2 is in literally every single episode, but 3PO hasn't been in one for, well, ages. Also, what I'm noticing as well is, probably from an animator's perspective or a 3D student's perspective as well, is the fact that there is so much character reusage within a show like this with such like a wide world of characters. So like there'll be like one character that was in just one episode for a reason. He ends up being on Coruscant, which is like the home world of like the Jedi and the Emperor and all of that. But he obviously returned to his home world. He never left there. So they basically just reusing character models to fill in background characters, which, to be fair, is a very common thing in animation, because it's incredibly time consuming to make a bunch of different and completely separate characters, whereas using the same models and just changing colour variation a bit is a lot easier to get around, especially if you've got, I don't know, like a massive series to get through. It could be viewed as lazy, but it's also somewhat reviewed as productive as well, because, again, it isn't stupidly time-consuming creating characters in 3D. It is very fun, and the process, again, is very fun, but the amount of time it takes, besides how fun it is it's very time-consuming, especially for a show this big, I would imagine. But having said that, I'm going to be going into the industry of designing basically characters and backgrounds and how things look and stuff like that, and actually animating and giving narrative. I think we're doing mocap as well, which is going to be fucking awesome. Just basically you put on these big black suits with a bunch of white bubbles on them, and you dance around, and it captures your movement by the white bubbles, transfers that data over to a computer, and you can overlay the skin of either something that you've created or is already like a pre-composited thing. And I want to try and do it with creatures, because I can make some like creature sounds, which is, I'm not a furry, although that is, I'm literally making wings and a fucking deer. Okay, well, no, never mind. To be fair though, I don't have anything wrong with the furry community. I think it's awesome, and the craftsmanship they put into their suits is fucking insane as well, I must admit. And it's a heavily art-based community too, so it's yeah. Again, I do admire their talents with building stuff. It's insane. Right, what we're going to do is essentially take this out here, and wherever this is basically lined up to have a hole in it, we're going to take that and pretty much just do the exact same on this one, so we can get symmetry. Because the problem is, if we don't make this symmetrical, the wings are going to be lopsided, which is not going to be very fun. And the thing is, I'm also eyeballing a lot of this, so yeah. And look at that. So these pretty much line up exactly. That's gone straight through. There's two of them there. These obviously aren't really stuck together, but now we've got identical holes on both. And so one of these is going on one side, and one of them is going on the other. And these essentially here are just the base kind of elements for the rest of the thing, and they're just going to be sitting like that to make actual wing muscles. So what we're going to do is put strings through the ends of these, so that when you pull these down, they twist like that, and basically the other bits go up because of the pivot. It's all just physics, really. It's quite simple, but it's hard to it looks really intimidating, and it's kind of hard to wrap your head around, but it is all basically just physics, and that's what the other guy that I saw doing on socials is essentially doing. They're using very basic physics that look really complicated, but it's incredibly easy to understand, and they've essentially just made a net of moving parts that apply to the body, and so now I can essentially just make this suit over the morph suit that I have, and it will fully it will fully move with my body. And because of that, like I said, the helmet that I had before, I can still basically take off bits and apply it via hooks and things like that, but the helmet I can actually make out of separate parts and have a bit where you put it on, fold it inwards and have it close at the front and a lock in the front with like an inside lock that I can undo from the sides, which I'm going to twist and push in. Yeah, it's going to be this insane crazy thing, and I honestly can't wait to get it done. Now I want to get the helmet and the wings done by Comic-Con, maybe the skateboard holster as well, and then possibly the chest sword. See, my D&D OC essentially has the ability to cast the runes from all over its body into certain parts of its body with incantations, and then be able to pull like weaponry or tools or resources out of its parts of its body. One of the main ones being the chest, where it's going to pull a sword out. I want to make that physically possible by making a collapsible sword which hooks onto the chest. I can pull it out with a string and just pull the whole thing out, and it becomes a sword that becomes detachable. Which is going to be insane once it's done, obviously, but yeah. The main point this evening is we're going to basically try and get one wing side done. I've actually found some glue that I had laying around somewhere. We're going to try and get one wing side done and actually show you how it works, because I've got some string out there as well we can use to actually put this all together. And then basically what I do is trace all of these objects, and yeah. I need to go get my schematics as well because I left them upstairs. I'll be back in a second.
But you can't do that.
I remember when I lost my man.
This is an outrage!
We warned you this would happen. And what of the separatists?
From the little information Senator Amidala has been able to establish, there will be no raise on their current loan. turn the whole
clouds like peanut butter, but peanut butter is hubba bubba bubba. Tell me, Doc, tell me, Doc, what do you see?
This doesn't make
You
sense.
and me, I got a beautiful mind. Been listening to Brian David Gilbert quite a lot. One of my favourite songs. So original schematics, obviously, just here. So we've essentially made two of these starting bits which will be attached to the strings, just here. And now we've got one of those longer bits which has got the third point in the middle. And now we just need to make another basically long bit but thinner that goes up, double stacked obviously, which is why I've got the glue. And then that just needs to have a point at either end instead of having one in the middle. And then we just need to make a double the length that one, which comes down into a point with a starting pivot, a middle pivot, and then no end pivot. Which is why I also have this little thing here. It's called a pen, and it allows me to draw. I don't know why I fucking had to explain that, but I do. I've got a bunch of new cardboard as well, so we're good.
Invasion.
I'm actually gonna cut this down a bit because the problem is this massive bulge here is what's making this so flimsy. I think the circle's just a tiny bit too big on that. And obviously, actually, as it gets out, it needs to get thinner as well, not bigger. It's going to make the circle smaller, not the actual length of this thing. There we go. Cool. Right, so now we've got a bit of a smaller circle which kind of matches this end. But this end is going to be the inside bit where the other bit's going to touch. So actually, tell you what, I'm going to grab... so how's this going to work? Yeah, so that was going to go up like that. Which means that we need to make this go...
I'm afraid I'm trapped.
Oh, and that's the thing. So we want the glossy side, not the sort of rough side, to go against where the pivot's going to be, so that it moves a bit easier. Problem is, so if you have the rough side, like there's a darker side and a lighter side. Basically, the lighter side is the rough side. The darker side is the more glossy side. And so when the more glossy side obviously rubs against the other glossy side, it makes a really smooth transition, and it makes less noise as well. That's kind of what we want, essentially. And I'm going to make this thing so you can take it apart, essentially, as well. It just makes it a whole lot easier to transport. So I'm essentially going to make cardboard screws and bolts that you can put on the end of here when you've got these things through.
We can't do this, Dooku. The Separatist Senate will never approve.
There we go.
Are you insane? This was not part of the deal.
What deal? What have you done here, Clovis?
And so now what we're going to basically do is just chuck that away. Okay, cool. Right. basically follow this out. So I'm going to stack the same cardboard box on the top so that we have a bigger piece rather than cutting it all up and then sticking it. Because then that way it's just stuck already and we can automatically have bigger pieces and thicker pieces. And we should be able to actually make 2 things out of this as well. Make sure they're the right way up, that's all. Once again, we're going to have the glossy bits facing outwards. A, so that it sticks together, and B, so that, well, seamless kind of intervention. Basically all we need to do is put this glue essentially just around the edges of all this stuff instead of all the way across.
You will find on Scipio, will you not?
I am worried for Senator Amidala. I'm afraid we may be too late.
Correct, you were about Clovis. But let go of your selfishness. You must, if you are to see clearly. Not all is as it seems.
I understand, Master.
Right, so now what we need to do is basically just push this down, make sure it sticks obviously, and then get on with the rest of this. I need to go, but what I'm going to do is go get some more glue tomorrow so that we can obviously continue on with this. I've got glue sticks arriving with my hot glue gun as well, but that's after the peeps get back. So we'll still do some cosplay streams in the evening, even after the peeps get back from holiday. But they will have to be silent probably, and it really depends on like what time of day I do it. But that already stuck surprisingly well, which is handy. As you can see, that stuck surprisingly well already. That's just double thick now. So what we're going to do is actually go ahead and sit on that so that it stays stuck. And then do this next bit. Tell you what, I'm going to bring the camera along here so you guys actually see what I'm doing. But yeah, we're basically just sticking all this together because we've got 2 separate bits, which are basically just 2 cardboard boxes that we're stacking.
I had to strike a deal with Duke, but don't worry. I am the one who can start. As soon as things are settled, I can get rid of it, and I'll control it all again.
Listen to yourself. The Republic is sending its armada to take back the banks. You brought war right where there cannot be war. Your actions have destroyed the bank once and for all.
Gotten a fix on Senator Amidala's position.
And this glue is also super strong, so we don't need a ton to stick this, which is handy. And because it's more liquidous than the other glue, I try to use, obviously, and hot glue as well. Well, it's about as liquidous as hot, that's lost a word. It's about as basically liquidy as hot glue, so it spreads really easily as well. Right, so now what we're going to do is basically just put that over like this, lay it down as flat and in line as we possibly can, as you can see.
We have accomplished what we came here for. I am
Like that, and all we're going to do is basically just sit on this like this for a bit. So how have you guys been? Just need this to hold basically for a second, and then we can get off of it. Oh, also, the episode edits I've been doing for the Minecraft episode are basically done. I just need to make a thumbnail, write a description, and it should be out basically tomorrow evening. Which is actually when I originally planned to get it done. I thought I'd finished voice, but I hadn't, which I ended up doing today. And now it's just basically music and a couple meme edits, stuff like that. The stuff that makes the video fun. Right, what we're going to do now is flip this thing round. Since we started at this side, it should give the other side to dry a bit.
Such plans I have.
Wait, no, that's not going to work. It's this side that we just...
So much of my life missing. What will they say about me now?
It should give that side to dry a bit.
Clovis, you have to turn yourself
And so now we're just going to go ahead and basically... Because we still needs to be a thin. We're going to cut off all these side bits as well, which I didn't stick then. But I did stick the like centerpieces.
It's over, Clovis. Stay away from me. I didn't do anything wrong. I don't want to do this. No, I do.
Swim and sail on savage seas with never fear of drowning, and gladly ride the waves of life. No scorching sun, nor freezing cold will stop me on my journey. You promised me with hearts.
Let me go.
No, you don't.
Dearest one, my darling, so mighty words of stone.
I am.
I'm losing you. I'm sorry, puppy.
No.
You could have pulled him up. You made them choose. You little fucking...
It's okay. You're okay.
I'm sorry, Anki. I'm sorry.
Oh, what's going on with Discord?
It's all over.
Are they starting the server? They might be. I'm not sure. Oh fuck, they're in a voice call. Yeah? Let's join.
It was Rush Clovis who was behind the corruption that almost caused our collapse. In hope of a better tomorrow,
Meow.
we cede control of the
Wait,
banks
what?
to the office of the Chancellor of the
Thank you,
Galactic
meow.
Republic.
It is with great humility that I take on this immense responsibility. Rest assured, when the Clone Wars end, I shall reinstate the banks as we once knew them. But during these
Okay,
treacherous
cool.
times, we cannot in good conscience allow our money to fall under the manipulations of a madman like Count Dooku or separatist control again. May there be prosperity and stability in all our Republic lands. May our people be free and safe. Long live the banks!
Sorry, I was just reading a message on Discord. Yeah, well, I guess we'll get on with this. I want to, yeah, like I said, I want to get at least one wing fully done this evening. I've got the string and everything, the supplies with me here. And to be honest, all we actually need the glue for is to basically double up on cardboard, which we have enough for one more. Which is lucky, because I have exactly 2 more boxes over there for us to stack. And, yeah, obviously for the actual wing connections, all we need is that, which we're going to cut with this to make them shorter, and then essentially make bolts out of cardboard by kind of utilising the same method as the end of these skewers, just making it thicker than the actual thing, but probably making like a square that we're going to stick on the inside of the, so actually it might be able to glue after all. Obviously going to make sure the glue doesn't slip down and sink into the actual pivots, otherwise we're not going to be able to move these wings. They're literally just going to be stuck, which is not be fun. Right, I need to make sure this is flat actually. There we go. Right, that is all done. We've now essentially just got a massively long piece, which we can essentially turn into another little wing piece, or at least two from my calculations.
Queen Julia, the Republic is honored that you have come to us for aid.
So
We
now,
are always happy to support the neutral systems in a time of crisis. If I may introduce two of our best...
actually I've got an idea. I need to make 4 of these, because these we can use for the bottom bits as well. Yeah, we can use these for the bottom bits as well, which means that I need to kind of place this. So that's going to go there, which is going to be the kind of key thing, and then I'll just lift the camera up in a minute to show you. But that's going to go there, and this is essentially going to parallel that.
A strong connection to the Force. The Dragoyan Masters have. Yet, unlike the Jedi, they are not. Intuition.
And then this is going to go a bit further up.
The harmony of the universe is what they say. Passively, they connect with the Force.
And then that's basically going to go in a bit more.
Doesn't want a Jedi sent to solve this mystery. Long
So we're actually going to
the Jedi Order.
go ahead and put that over the top of there.
The Jedi were named by the Dragoyan.
And that needs to pivot, so we'll make some sort of pivot on the... what I'm going to do is make a back chest plate that we can actually put this on. So this thing needs to be able to pivot. Then paint it gold, so the whole thing has like gold edges. That way, obviously, it's not going to be like rough and showing cardboard, because it's going to be a bit unprofessional looking. But also, you see how there's these like foldy bits? That will... you'll think it makes it flimsy, but when it's actually part of this whole mechanised bit, because it's basically going to be locked in place, it won't flop as much, but still, on some parts where it's not on where the pivots are, what I'm actually going to do is basically just grab pieces like that and stick them on the inside of the wing, or the back, and actually apply spikes to them. So while there'll be like steadiness bits, they'll actually have detail applied to them as well. And then I'm going to paint rooms and sort of paint them. I'm going to paint them fully black, let that dry, and then we're going to paint the gold bits around the edge, and then what we're going to do is basically just go ahead and add a bunch of scratches and detail and runes in purple and pink, and maybe a tiny bit of white as well, just highlights on the gold. Because obviously it's not actually going to shine, so we need to create this illusion that it's kind of somewhat this metallic substance. So now if we lay this, just need to make sure that it's on the
So
right.
the cultures are stealing living force and trapping it in a containment sphere.
Yes, they should try to steal my living force too, but Lisa saved me.
And now they plan to do the same thing with the Queen. But to what end? The cultists couldn't exploit the living force like a Jedi or a Sith. I sense something else.
Let's
A
now
darker
make this
presence.
down.
Maxie beat the force master race, but how's we gonna find
Cool.
the Queenie?
Right,
She's
I've
still
just figured out how this is going to work
If the
properly.
containment sphere
Right, so
gathered enough of the living force as you suggest.
right now this is going to look not so great because obviously it's not finished, but if I just line everything up and get the holes poked as well,
on that team that
this should make a lot more sense for you guys, hopefully. We just put that on there. If I just poke this hole through as well, Actually, if we put this all the way through, we can make this pivot work right now. Hopefully, anyway. Right, that goes through there. And then I'm just going to grab one more of these, put that through there.
Georgia! Georgia, where are you? Unhand me! No! No.
Brother, another vision of the great mother came to me. She said the Jedi knows of the sphere and that he is following us.
Or two, actually, we'll take this out for now, but yeah, you get the idea. So basically, if I just flip the camera real quick, I'm trying to make this as clear as I can. Let's put that there, and then see it. And then that there, and it's here. And it's here. Cool, right, so how this essentially works, if I grab camera real quick for its eyes. Basically, so this bit, this whole mechanism is this bit going across, that bit going down and up, and you can kind of see that here. So obviously it's a bit bigger, a bit thicker, and obviously we can thin it out if we really want to. But essentially how this works is as this thing here is pulled down, this thing pivots upwards, and because it's attached to that, when that goes up, this thing is going to go down. So as this thing in the middle turns up, it's going to push this down, and the whole thing is basically going to expand out that way, and it's going to get thinner. So I can just do a quick demonstration. Hopefully you guys can see this. I'll put this up here. This up here. Can I? Just need to. Okay, cool. So the idea is that obviously we pull. I'll try and do this. If we pull this, basically, that's going to go like that, and because this middle bit is going to be attached to that bit, this will also go like that, and this will pivot like that. And so obviously as that happens, this whole thing gets thinner, but it also goes out. And because of where the actual things are going to be attached, like the spires that come out of the wing, which can be attached to that bolt over there and that bolt over there, basically they're going to fan out as this thing gets pulled down. If that makes sense. And obviously it's going to go up as well because of the angle that it's going to be placed at. So what I'll probably do is finish this tonight, just after stream, and then what I'll do is take a video of it working, and then post it on socials, which by the way are linked over here. I probably should just say because the stream's probably about to die. Socials are linked over here, so if you want to check them out and see the video of this thing working after stream, then feel free. There's some stuff on there along with the schedule for this like month-long streamathon that I'm doing as well, called the Shadathon. Basically what we're doing, I try to do day by day. It's not fully fledged out because obviously I didn't plan for doing cosplay pretty much every day after this point. I've got trip plans in which we're going to be able to do S&P streams and IRL streams at the end of August, which is going to be awesome. It's a place I've always wanted to go, which is going to be insane. And then I've also got all the previous VODs from both Shadathon and all the stuff before that, and probably the stuff's going to be after that as well, over on YouTube, along with a bunch of stuff that's never seen the face of Twitch, including the episode that's about to come out, which is this massive Minecraft project, which links to the new update as well. So if you want to check that out, feel absolutely free. But without any further ado, I'm probably going to leave the stream here. I hope you all have a wonderful evening, day, night, wherever you're in the world. Everyone's welcome here, as I said before, many times. But yeah, I'll basically see you tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow for Thursday. Probably only in the morning for cosplay, and then later day for Warframe. It's probably when I'm at my best, and I'm going to pop to the shops and obviously get some more glue and some materials to make this thing work, and probably some more rubber bands to add some torsion to the fingers we're also going to make tomorrow. But it's wonderful seeing you guys. Have a good one, and one last thing, goodbye. I'm going to keep watching the Clone Wars and probably stay up till like 5 o'clock in the morning. Yeah!